Once you know how to multiply fractions and mixed numbers, dividing fractions and mixed numbers are pretty easy. Let's look at an example. 2/3 divided by 3/4. In this case, what we do, write them horizontally, just like this. But since we know in mathematics that division is the same thing as multiplication by the reciprocal, we can simply take the reciprocal of this number, which would be 4/3, and multiply. So the first thing we do is rewrite the problem as multiplication, flipping the divisor over. This number right here, we use its reciprocal. We flip it over. The 3 in the numerator becomes the denominator, and the 4 in the denominator becomes the numerator. Now, let's look to see if we can find any common factors here. We can't. So we have 2 times 4 on top is 8, and 3 times 3 on the bottom. And we have 8/9, which is in its simplest form. That's all we do for dividing fractions and mixed numbers. We simply change the division problem into a multiplication problem by multiplying by the reciprocal. Let's take another example. 3/5 divided by 2/5. Step 1, we flip the divisor, 3/5 times 5/2. And now we look to see if there are any common factors. We have a 5 here and a 5 here. 5 into 5 goes once, 5 into 5 goes once. So on top we have 3 times 1 is 3, and on the bottom we have 1 times 2 is 2. And that can be simplified to 1 and 1/2. So 3/5 divided by 2/5 gives us an answer of 1 and 1/2. All we do is flip the divisor and multiply. Now, of course, if we have mixed numbers, we will need to change those mixed numbers into fraction form before we can do anything else. And so let's take a couple examples. 8 and 1/3 divided by 2 and 1/2. Step 1, let's change them into fraction form. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25. 25/3 divided by 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 5/2. Now they're in fraction form, and we can change this into its reciprocal, flip it over, and the problem becomes a simple multiplication problem. Let's look to see if there are any common factors. We have 25 and 5. 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into 25 5 times. And so we're left with 5 times 2 is 10. And 3 times 1 is 3. 10/3 simplified is 3 and 1/3. And there is our final answer. Let's take another example. 18 and 2/3 divided by 5 and 1/3. Let's convert it into fraction, put it in a fraction form first. 3 times 18 will give us 54. 54 plus 2 gives us 56. 56/3 divided by 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16/3. The second step is to flip this over. 56/3 times 3/16. Now let's look for common factors. Automatically I see right off. We have a 3 and a 3. I also have a 56 and a 16, and I recognize that both of these numbers are multiples of 8. 8 goes into 56 7 times. 8 goes into 16 twice. And so now I have 7 times 1, 7 on top, 1 times 2, 2 on the bottom. 7 over 2 equals 3 and 1/2. And that is our final answer. That's all there is to dividing fractions and mixed numbers.